Problem is that this is what a lot of modern movies, I think, have an issue with, is that they try to hold on to and push an ideal or some sort of value that's just simply not representative of what average people think or feel.
During the Weimar period in Germany, 100 years ago, one theater director, Bertolt Brecht, Marxist, found ways to put an agenda into his plays, to convince viewers against capitalism. He advised his writer friends to do the same. He fled from the Nazis. In Australia his plays were boycotted for over a decade. He was chilling in Los Angeles, Weimar Belt, amongst other refugee writers, until he was blacklisted from Hollywood during the Cold War for alleged communist ties. Bertolt Brecht was very socialist, not even acknowledging victims of the Gulag or East Germany protests. He died 1956. He also did that thing, on X-Twitter, calling anyone who criticized him a Nazi. He did that 100 years ago. Despite dodging the German World War I draft, Brecht still made a gruesome anti-war play about a dug-up corpse getting decorated and sent back to the front. Meanwhile, All Quiet on the Western Front was made by actual veterans. Weimar was extremely hellish, which his theater reflects. Unlike others who glorified the mass hedonism, he did have a vision. He wasn't stupid. Verfremdungseffekt, alienation effect, meant to pull the viewer out of immersion to make critical judgments. To achieve the Verfremdungseffekt, all kinds of things from music to fourth wall breaks to dialogue they did. In the Lehrstücke, supposed to teach the viewers and make them think. This isn't bad, but remember his plays were also heavily drenched in Marxist leftist ideology, like certain movies are also tinted now, 100 years after he started. There are tons of different ways one can interact with something as broad as art, although many have preferences. It'd be bad if a gender becomes the majority of stories, variety equals survival, but more so because Lehrstücke stories have some big flaws. For one, nobody likes being told what to do or looked down upon. Ideology isn't wisdom. Ideals can keep being pursued limitless. That's extremism. And also, why those stories don't have that nice circular wisdom Midas or Icarus or even the subversive Sisyphus have. Viewers interpret stories like they do the real world, so any tiny mistake by the author makes it possible to simply twist a narrative with the goal of ideology.
I guess she's gonna have to take control of everything. What a bind.
This is a story about female empowerment, but everything went to shit when a woman took over?
Even when looking at an agenda story emotionally, certain morals just don't practically work at high detail levels in real life, like racism. These takes are in confines within confines. I try to keep it short while getting the takes across properly. Anyways, this would be the reason for why the Disney Snow White remake, besides all the other issues, messed up.
Bruh.
And, well, stories like it, that try to tell an agenda. By the way, yes, From Weimar to Adolf is a similar pendulum swing as seen right now, only back then it was incredibly violent and compressed. It could be an argument against accelerationism, maybe the darkest 30 years of Germany from World War I to the end of World War II. Bonus.
Oh, 300 black men for only £2. Yes, sir.
This joke is blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. Remember Einstellung effect. Sometimes things just are. I could try and talk about politicization and such, but in this case, the duality of fiction, reality and ideology, art or whatsoever more stops working. Systemizers cry, and there's no need to overcomplicate a joke. Poetry. So yeah, I had a feeling some of my takes were too deep to work better than common sense. I just really wanted to cover this, since a leftist agenda in shows and movies is very popular nowadays. And its origins are older than one might expect. I certainly didn't before finding Bertolt Brecht in some school's online files.